First of all, why don't you introduce yourself, mundane and society name?
Sure, yeah. My name's Eric Kerr, and the SCA is Sir Jethro de Couchy de Tourneys.
And you're my Baron, right?
I am, yeah, currently the landed Baron of Angels. Yeah, and we're here. We're having a bit of a Harnischfechten practice.
How is this different from SCA combat with rattan?
So it's very much armor is one. There's three different tiers. There's Blossfechten, which is essentially unarmored fencing, which is really the same rules as SCA cut and thrust. Then there is your mid-tier level, which is armor as perceived. And that's where you're wearing armor. If it's plastic or aluminum or leather, we just count it for what it's supposed to be. So that's where you have a nice low barrier of entry. Most people can wear what they wear for the SCA for that, with like a HEMA or cut and thrust fencing mask to keep anything from going into your face.
Okay.
And then the third tier is the super high level. So it's really hot right now, which is why I'm not wearing any chainmail. I'm trying to strip down some of the weight. But that is for full-on historical kids that are...
I'm just getting a view of the armor while we're talking about you're not wearing the mail, which would be peeking out from underneath your arms.
And like a skirt. And stuff.
Right.
And that is all armor is worn. And it's supposed to be kits that are representative of a time and place. So you really want to get something that is within a 10-year time period of itself. The idea is to display the ideals of knightly combat in what you would see in the Middle Ages. So in terms of scoring...
that was what I was going to ask. Yeah. How is this different?
So scoring-wise, it's all counted blow style. And it's full body targeting. But since its armor is worn, there are some caveats, right? So a sword would be good to cut anywhere that's unarmored. So any fabric, a cut or thrust from any weapon is good. Sword, dagger, spear, poleaxe. If there is chainmail, that's completely immune to cutting. And you can thrust to it, but the thrust has to be a solid thrust that drives with structure. You can't just pop it. You have to set and drive the thrust.
So that would be kind of like the equivalent of in SCA combat being struck with a telling blow?
It would be, yeah, with a bit more follow through. You want to move them back a bit when you do it. So get the impact and step into it and really push. Imagine like you're trying to break the chainmail links with the weapon.
Is this scored like on the honor system, or is there somebody acting as a marshal / referee pointing and stopping the action?
It's a combination of both. Because some of the kits get so comprehensive, it becomes difficult to tell when you've been hit or when you hit someone else, because there's so much moving around. So aside from scoring with the weapons, you can also score a point by completely removing your opponent's last weapons. You can remove your opponent from the list field. Counts as a point. So
you send them either over the perceived barrier or marked barrier? Or?
Ideally, you want to control them and move them out of the entrance of the list field. I checked when I first started, and you are not allowed to throw people out of the area. And then successful grapples. So if you land a controlled grapple and are in control of that, if you both go down, it doesn't count, you know. So you have to have a successful grapple that you control.
Yeah, that was exactly the part that I saw where I'd considered it, and I went, yeah, but at my age, at my knees, I'm out.
And that's all consensual, right? So we have a discussion before each set. And we're basically like, are you comfortable with grappling? Would you like to grapple to set? Or would you like to grapple to the ground? Would you like to not grapple? In terms of strikes with the sword, the Mordschlag, where you turn it around and strike with the pommel, is also a thing that you can agree to do or not to do. And I wouldn't recommend somebody who doesn't have like a hardened steel armor to do it, because it will dent the hell out of whatever you're doing, because it is essentially a mace. Then poleaxe fighting, we typically only do that with people who have fairly comprehensive armor, because it can come in hard. We're using hardened rubber heads on the pole axes, but they're mounted on ash shafts, or hickory.
So there's less give than with rattan.
Is no give. And if you crack somebody with that ash shaft, oh boy. But yeah, so that's kind of the ins and outs. It's definitely a lot of fun, and it's very kind of tactical, because everyone's armor is slightly different. So you have to approach each fight differently, because the scoring areas are going to be different on each individual. For getting started, all you got to do is show up. At least at this practice here down in Monrovia, we have tons of them here. And we also, if you have a cut and thrust legal kit for the SCA, or an SCA armored kit,
Then you could start on those lower tiers that you were talking about.
exactly, yeah, because nobody expects anyone to have a complete set put together when you start. That's like the end goal. I got lucky because this is also essentially my SCA kit.
I understand that. See, and I'm early time period, so I would probably have to completely retool if I wanted to hit that third tier.
Exactly, yeah, you would have to get more plate. Or, you know, like in the mid-tier, there are people who are just wearing a chain shirt and some shoulders and arms and big target areas, but you have to fight you get to fight very actively.
Like target-rich environment type stuff, yeah.
Exactly, which is fun in its own right, but whew, it can get exhausting. Duke Guillaume at a recent tournament entered with that kind of setup, and I mean, he's a fantastic fighter, so he did fairly well, but it was really fun to see, because everybody else was way more armored than him, and he was just sending it, so it was pretty good. Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna take a look and see what you guys are actually doing on the field.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Of course, yeah. We have some brand new guys. We have some people who've been around for a while. All sorts of different kits and skill levels are here today. And it's wonderful to see. It's really growing. And the whole idea behind this experiment is to give people who do this aspect of the hobby a bridge into getting involved with the SCA. That's why we're doing it as an experiment in the SCA. It's not so much like, yeah, it's a cool new fighting style, oh, all the cool kids are doing this, so much as building a bridge between the HEMA communities and the SCA communities, and really just
And not
nerds.
shoving them off with, we're more medieval than thou.
Right, exactly. And you know, one of the things to keep in mind is a lot of these kits are nice, and a lot of these people have been fighting in armor for a while. But if you see them at SCA events, they're new to the SCA. They don't know anybody. So whilst it may look like they are...
Like they belong, like they've been there
around,
forever.
please take time to introduce yourselves, because they don't know anybody, and you know, so it's nice to, you know, be that ambassador for our community. Sorry, it's really hot. To be that ambassador for our communities and to really help build those bridges between us, because we can all help each other out. My SCA fighting has made my Harnischfechten fighting better, and my Harnischfechten fighting has made my SCA fighting better. The amount of things that we can learn from each other is fantastic.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, kind of likewise, like I'm not going to be using for your... Yeah, I mean, it's good, yeah. Once you're on the ground, that's we'll talk about it. I just want to mark it.
The only reason I pressed that was because I was like, oh, I
That's it? Yeah. It just makes sure the buttons in. Yep, buttons in, and Bever needs to come up.
part of that was like, okay.
Okay, so what are we doing? 3 passes with the spear, grappling, set. What do you guys want to do? Just run the weapon? Okay, sounds good. So we'll shoot the 3. Sigmund, stand you ready. Jethro, stand you ready. Lay on.
Hold.
Okay.
Yeah, that button's getting a little bit squeaky, so the visor will pop up. Yeah, try snapping it down one more time for me.
In.
Yeah. Yeah, hold key. Alright, sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's always good to call it. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Lay on. Keep going. That was on the armor.
Woo! Yeah. Oh, nice.
Nice. Okay, thrust to the unarmored bicep. Sigmund, stand you ready. Jethro, stand you ready? Yep. Lay on. Going.
Yep, on the armor, not good.
Not good? Okay.
Not good.
Stay on the fight. Good call out. Yeah, there you go. Another thrust to the unarmored bicep. Okay, last pass. How you guys feeling?
I'm gassed, but let's try it.
Yes, you want to go for the last one?
Yeah, let's try it.
Lay on.
Nice. Beautiful.
3 for 3. Good
Very
job,
good.
boy.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Nice work.
You are you're really an active fighter.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. So 2 passes with spear. Kim, stand you ready. Breaker, stand you ready.
Ready.
Lay on. Is that good?
That was in my groin. Yeah,
Okay, excellent.
All
Thrust
right.
to the male, hip crease. We'll call it.
just said he doesn't have any children.
Kim, stand you ready. Breaker, stand you ready. Lay on. Yeah, there it is, there it is, there it is.
Yeah.
Thrust to the crotch.
Good thing.
That's what we got. We're gonna do it again. 3 for 3, come on. Breaker, you doing okay? You need air?
Yeah, pump me first. I gotta love this again.
No. I got a cup on. Hey, all you'd have to do is draw a picture of that, pointing at my crotch. I'm good.
All right.
Last one. Okay, Tim, stand you ready? Ready. Breaker, stand you ready?
Ready.
Lay on. There it is. Well fought, gentlemen. Good job.
I had to get revenge for my poor penis.
He keeps the rich one at home.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Good job, yeah. I was fast enough to do that.
Jethro, stand you ready? Yeah. You ready? Hang on. Hey, last pass.
Oh, hold!
He's dead, Jim.
Dude, I feel like a mech. Like someone's like taking a mech and just like disassembling it.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little like that. Removing your plates.
Dude, I'm really proud of this plate.
So,
Yes.
another couple of last questions.
Yeah.
How much does your whole kit weigh?
Oh God. Right now, I'm kind of in the 45, 50 range, so I'm not wearing any chainmail. With the chainmail shirt on, because I'm working on a lighter solution, but with the chainmail shirt on underneath the brigandine to give me full coverage, it's close to 80 pounds. So it's definitely a significant increase.
Would you consider aluminum mail to be as valid a thing, or titanium, or do you want to try to keep it
So for the
ultra
Knights,
period?
for the Knights level list, those materials aren't allowed. They don't count as
Okay.
armor
No,
because it's a you're gaining a weight advantage
Understood.
that way, and we want to try and keep it an even playing field with all of the kids. So it's yeah, you're heavily encumbered, but so is everybody else.
So then the brig would have to be
It would
steel,
have to be
right?
Steel, yeah.
Okay.
So and like usually like a hardened steel and stuff like that. Brigs we're kind of more forgiving on because it's not a huge weight difference in them, but things like mail, it becomes a huge difference in terms of weight.
Okay.
Because there's no real way to make lightweight metal out of steel. And so the differences between like a aluminum hauberk and a similarly sized steel hauberk.
I have
would be like,
one of each, and I
mean,
discovered the difference in
that's
weight.
like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
It's insane. And so yeah, we tend to steer people towards
Period material.
period materials because it helps keep it fair. Because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, you can arm up enough so there aren't any valid target areas, and you can do that, but in the spirit of the game, you want to have some openings for people to hit. Unless you're just going to send it with pole axes every fight, in which case you just send it with pole axes every fight. But yeah, it's a lot of fun though, and you know, it kind of, I don't know, it gets you in that right mindset, like in the fight, because it's like SCA fighting is fantastic and it's an adrenaline rush and it's go, go, go. But there's something a bit more dynamic on the Harnischfechten side because not everything's a target, and there are at the same time full body targets. So you have more and less to hit, and you have to think. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, each one makes the other one better, which is fantastic. And what I think one of the big things that's going to come out of this is, you know, like maybe standard SCA kits will start
Going back to
a little
being,
nicer,
yeah.
and you know, then you know, we'll get some more historical technique, and then maybe we'll get like some more aggression into the Harnischfechten side, to the SCA side, so that more like stamina-driven fight type mentality, and kind of both raise both ships. You know.
okay. Thank you.
Of course.